Kennett versus Kennett, the mother, Karen, is married to Jarrett Brandon Kennett. He goes by Brandon, actually. They were married in 2009. They have one child together. Then Karen has an affair with Keith Andrews, who is an attorney, I might add. They end their intimate relationship in November of 2014. Lo and behold, a child is born. We will call her G. She is born into the marriage in August of 2015. Not until December of 2016 does Karen contact Keith and tell him she had a sibling DNA test done and her husband was not G's biological father. After Keith discovers this, he sets out to create a relationship with the child. He eventually testifies all about his actions to create a relationship with his child, which, by the way, is in the nature of proffered testimony, meaning it's testimony presented over the objection of the other party and outside the hearing of the judge. This is creating a record for the Court of Appeal. I'll get back to that in a few. So then Karen files for divorce in January of 2017, seeking joint custody of one child and sole custody of G. Keith intervenes to establish paternity and custody February 10th of 2017. At this point, G is 1.5 years old. The husband, Brandon, files exceptions to defeat the avowal action, including a plea of preemption pursuant to Louisiana Civil Code Article 198. Keith argued that Article 198 is unconstitutional. The trial court granted the exception, dismissing Keith's intervention for paternity and custody and finding Civil Code Article 198 to be constitutional. Keith appealed to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal of Louisiana, who reversed the trial court. Then the Louisiana Supreme Court reversed the appellate court, reinstating the trial court decision. So let's unpack this a little bit. What is Louisiana Civil Code Article 198? A man may institute an action to establish his paternity of a child at any time, except as provided by this article. If the child is presumed to be the child of another man, the action shall be instituted within 1 year from the day of the birth of the child. Nevertheless, if the mother, in bad faith, deceived the father of the child regarding his paternity, the action shall be instituted within 1 year from the day the father knew or should have known of his paternity, or within 10 years from the day of the birth of the child, whichever occurs first. So at the trial level, the trial court found that there was no bad faith, and thus Keith only had 1 year from the date of birth, which, remember, was August 5th, 2015, and so the deadline would have been August 2016. However, he didn't even find out that the husband was not the father until December of 2016. If we have time, we can look more closely at this issue of bad faith. Keith was denied all parental rights by the Supreme Court decision.